Okay, so it is 3 p.m. on Friday, November the 18th, and I'm not optimistic about my classes, and I don't just mean that I don't think I'm going to get good grades. I'm very frustrated in my academic studies. The part of the problem that I'm having is that I don't feel like the school is helping me pursue my goals. And I don't care about the school because it's their job to take care of them. I care about my goals. And I've got like 2 projects this semester that I still care about, but most of the semester and most of my time over the past year, which I've gone thousands of dollars into debt to do, is miserable. I mean, if I'm going to be miserable and not do what I want to do, I ought to get paid to do it. So, I'm very strongly thinking that unless something dramatically changes between now and January, I'm going to withdraw. And I'm not going to be a student at NC State anymore. Which really is too bad, but that's just the way things are working out. So, what happened to make me change my mind? Well, when I came here, I was planning to work with Dr. Tolson, who retired and isn't here. And with him went all of the classes that I intended to take. And in the spring, I was encouraged to wait and see if the classes would open up. So rather than move out, I stayed put. And then no classes opened up. So, yeah, even the one class that was tangentially related to what I really wanted to do in the acoustics 2 got canceled for lack of students. And that wasn't even really something I really wanted to do, but it is related. I've taken one class out of 6 that is directly related to what it is that I really want to do. And that's the dynamics class this semester. And the professor's emphasis is on getting us to understand and be able to write about and describe a journal article, which is good. I'm having a lot of trouble with that particular project, but it's at least sort of matters. But I just am not feeling like NC State offers what I'm here for. So I'm going to, right now I'm thinking I'm going to withdraw. I'm going to go home. I've already talked to my mother about this, so moving back home is unpleasant but not undoable. And it's just very difficult. It's a very difficult decision to say, oh, I'm going to just leave everything behind again. And, well, I'm going to move my stuff home, but I don't know how well that's going to work out. So we're going to have to wait and see. I'm going to start moving some stuff home at Thanksgiving if my family will cooperate. I don't know if they will, but yes, it's very difficult, partly because so much of my social network is here in Raleigh, and I won't be moving so far away that I can't ever do anything, but I will be moving far enough away that they won't be a stone's throw and a phone call. And I'm not really sure what I'm going to do when I do go home. I know I'm going to be looking for work, and I'm probably going to take... I'm planning to spend a month or 2 this semester looking for the kind of work I want, and then I'm going to take whatever goddamn job I can get. Because even though waiting 6 months is normal for people to do when they're looking for work, I don't think I can afford to. So I'm going to do what I can And maybe I'll end up taking that fixing planes for the mercenaries or whatever it was that's down here on the coast. I don't know. But I do know I'm not working at McDonald's, because it's not that I'm too good for it, it's that I can make more money doing other stuff. To say nothing of their policies on sanitation and beard management. But one of my frustrations with finding work has consistently been that the inferior beings that are supposed to be helping me find work seem to think that if I'm not willing to take a job in fast food, then I don't really want a job. You need to be more desperate to get what you really need, or some shit like that. I'm a fucking engineer. I've got a degree. I'm not sitting around waiting to get a degree. I've got one degree already. The kind of work I want to do requires, or may or may not require, an additional degree. But yeah, the governmental job finding programs are mostly filled with people who have like bullshit degrees from bullshit universities, and whenever somebody who's actually qualified comes in and tries to find work, the people work to keep them from finding work. So the Employment Security Commission is not an option. My mother doesn't understand that, but it's the truth. So I won't be finding any work through them. And at least not if they're anything like the last place I went to. I heard they had an office in Raleigh for skilled labor, so maybe I'll check in with them. I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I've got to find work somewhere. I think I'm going to contact the company that Brielle put me in touch with and let them know that I'd be available in the spring if they want me. Full time! No longer have to take me as an intern. But chances are good that they're going to say, oh, if you're not a student anymore, then you no longer qualify for our internships. Because that's what I usually get told. That's right. If you are completely available to work, you can't have the job. Fuck 'em. Alright. So, I'm not sure if it's just because I'm overworked. Like, on Wednesday, I worked 7 hours on homework that was due Thursday. And then on Monday and Tuesday, I was also working on work that was due Thursday. And then I was going to work last Saturday on my combustion work, but I hadn't been assigned any back then. The professor didn't assign the work until Sunday, and then he made it due Thursday. And that screwed up all the other stuff I was doing. And part of me is kicking myself and saying you should have started the optimization that was due today sooner. And another part of me says I did start it sooner. I didn't make much progress. I was hoping that something would be covered in class that would help, and then it wasn't. But I'm very discouraged and frustrated and unhappy. I need to go by and give my notice, because I think I have to give a 60-day notice to move out, but the office wasn't open. So I wasn't able to give my notice today. So it'll be Monday before I can give my notice, if all goes the way I expect it to. And I have a test on Monday at 3:50, and I'm going to study this weekend, because even though I'm not planning to come back in the spring, it doesn't mean I'm going to just completely blow off everything. And optimization is something that it's useful. I do still have one project in optimization I'm interested in. It is I may have mentioned it earlier. It was applying ant colony optimization to orbital pathfinding, and there are transfer orbits that you can make. It's difficult to explain in non-technical terms, but basically the shortest way to fly around the solar system is going from planet to planet and using them to adjust your momentum rather than trying to go straight to where you want to go. So, since it's a pathfinding problem, I'm going to be working on that. I think that project, if I can get it to work, would look very good on my applications. Something like, I found a better trajectory for the such and such probe that went to this planet. I have 2 planets in mind that I'm interested in probing, sending a probe to under hypothetical conditions. One of them is Uranus, Neptune. I'm thinking of the outer planets. Neptune is the furthest out. Uranus is the one that's not quite so far out. It's just past Saturn. And the other one is Mercury. And the reason I'm interested in Mercury is because we just sent a probe there, and I think it would be interesting to say I found a faster way to get the probe there, or better, maybe not faster. The biggest problem you have with space probes is fuel costs. Fuel is very expensive, and it's not just, and when I say expensive, the problem is that the fuel costs more fuel. It's almost like you have to pay in fuel for the fuel that you carry to a distant location. So if you want to have an extra pound of fuel when you arrive, you have to burn tremendous amounts of fuel to have that pound of fuel when you arrive. And if I can find a way to reduce the cost, then it's just getting to low Earth orbit, the smallest, lowest, cheapest launch you could possibly make. Several years ago, when the dollar was stronger and gold was cheaper, everything cost twice as much as its weight in gold if you put it in orbit. And that's just, so everything solid gold on Earth would be cheaper than putting it into orbit around the Earth. And then if you go even further away from that, it gets more expensive. And all of that is in fuel costs. So even small adjustments in your fuel costs, like a 1% change, is huge. So anyway, that's my project. The other project that I actually still care about is this in-body problem thing that I'm doing with Mazzolini, where he hasn't gotten back to me on it yet that I'm aware of. So I'm going to go ahead with the next step on my own, so that chances are good that if he keeps saying maybe, 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 I'm just going to do the project and then say, I don't care if you're taking it or not, this is what I'm turning in. So, because I'm getting tired of it. So anyway, I'm working on those projects. Tomorrow, Saturday, I'm planning to go to the library to try to find something that I could possibly do for this awful, awful simulation assignment that's due in about a week or 2. It's not next Thursday, but the Tuesday after next Thursday, so I have an extra weekend to work on it, which is good. But I'm just very discouraged trying to get to the end of the semester, and I'm going to start looking for jobs. I'm going to put my application up on USA Jobs and start looking for NASA stuff again. And if I don't find something, probably by Christmas, I'm going to really, really start applying locally, because I honestly expect that an engineer is going to find local work. If he's willing to take any kind of crappy job he can get, I think I'll find something.